Welcome to the episode of the Rise and Reality of Social Media podcast. I'm your host, Taylor. Today we'll talk about how these platforms have changed our view of ourselves and one another. Social media affects many aspects of our lives, including learning and developing public personas. Those concerns can include addiction, anxiety, and cyberbullying. We'll explore the reality of social media and ethical questions it presents in this episode. I would like to welcome Carrie and Mateo.
Thank you, Taylor. We've all been there, creating the ideal post while waiting for the next like or comment to come in.
Definitely. And to add to that, I was just talking to a coworker whose son wanted to be a TikTok influencer by teaching others how to dance. It really highlights the pervasive presence of social media. This shows how early kids connect with social media, often without realizing its lasting reach.
It's amazing and a bit concerning how young kids are getting sucked into social media, often without fully understanding the impact of what they share online. This connects well to Dana Boyd's idea of networked publics. Social media has a way of blurring our private and public lives, with our posts reaching further and lasting longer than we might expect.
Yeah, it's like once something's posted, it's out there, and there's no way to control who sees it. Social media has become a space where everyone's watching, but not always who we intended.
Exactly, Carrie. And it's not just that others are watching, it's also that we're encouraged to keep sharing. It's easy to forget that the things we post, even if they feel private, are actually in a very public space.
That's so true. And like the never ending audience, and there's that element of validation anxiety. Social media has a way of making us wait for likes and comments. I remember feeling this pressure myself, not just to post, but to create my post in ways that would get more engagement.
Right? And the pressure isn't only personal, it's about establishing an online identity that sometimes can become exhausting. If we're shaping how others see us, are we also shaping how we see ourselves?
Yeah, it's like we're managing two identities, one that we live every day and the one that we display online.
Absolutely, Mateo. Boyd's idea and network public shows that this constant sharing isn't just about self expression anymore, it's become a balancing act. The same platforms where we want to connect can also make us vulnerable in unexpected ways.
Social media has really blurred what's private and what's public. Dana Boyd explains how personal moments are shared online for everyone to see. Kids grow up thinking they need likes and followers to feel valued.
Right? And they're always comparing themselves to influencers. They see these perfect images and think they must look and act a certain way.
Totally. Kids are chasing validation, waiting for those liking comments. It's like they're constantly performing instead of being true to themselves.
Exactly. And it doesn't just affect how they feel, it changes their behavior. They start acting like the influencers they follow, copying their fashion style, words, and beliefs. This makes it harder for them to form real connections.
And this bleeds into learning too. Many influencers create bite sized, catchy content, and kids expect school to be the same. They struggle to focus on long lessons affecting their education.
And that pressure can be addictive. Seymour even said, "We are denizens, not citizens of a machine that keeps us addicted." This constant craving for likes can make it hard for kids to turn off their screens.
Yeah, and it's not just emotional. Kids spend so much on trendy items instead of saving for important things like college. It's creating bad spending habits.
Exactly. So maybe we should focus on teaching kids how to see through influencer culture, set screen time limits, and understand real friendship and self worth.
Those are some powerful points about how social media shapes how kids see themselves. But there's another side to the story. The same platforms that allow self expression also opens up the door to cyberbullying, which has an impact on kids' well being. Carrie, can you tell us more about that?
Cyberbullying is a serious issue worldwide, especially for students and young adults. With social media's growth, online harassment has surged. It involves using texts, emails, and social platforms to intimidate or threaten others, spreading quickly.
That's concerning. The digital world connects us, but also has its dangers. Mateo, what are the emotional impacts of cyberbullying?
The effects are profound. Students often feel anxiety, sadness, and anger, impacting their academics and personal lives. Some even avoid activities to escape bullying.
That sounds intense. Carrie, can you explain how cyberbullying is different from traditional bullying?
Unlike traditional bullying, cyberbullying happens online 24/7. Victims can't escape it, and it intensifies emotional distress. Studies also show that childhood cyberbullying can lead to anxiety and depression in adulthood.
Those are serious long-term effects. Carrie, could you share some statistics?
Absolutely. In the US, 64% of young adults have faced cyberbullying, with name calling as the most common issue, and 70% of students report someone spreading rumors about them online.
With such high rates, where is this happening?
Facebook leads with 39% of the cases, followed by YouTube at 29%.
That adds a real-time dimension. Carrie, how does real-time interaction worsen cyberbullying?
Real time interactions on platforms like TikTok make it even harder for victims. Because it's happening live, there's often less time to prepare a response, making it harder to cope. Sadly, a 12-year-old girl from New Jersey took her life after months of cyberbullying on Snapchat and in school, where hateful messages were spread.
That's just heartbreaking. Are there ways schools can help?
Yeah, they could create supportive environments, offer counseling, and provide resources to help out victims. A combined effort from educators, families, and communities is essential to combat this issue.
Great ideas. We must help kids understand social media can be good, but they must use it wisely. Thanks, Mateo and Carrie, for joining today. And thank you for listening to The Rise in Reality of Social Media. Until next time, stay mindful and think before you scroll.